Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2021 Yali election debate for the Networking and Events Chairperson, hosted by Yali Alumni Chapter of Kenya. Our candidates this evening are Matayo Mwenesi, Clinton Dege, Job Mwenda, Oduor Kevin, Victor Kofi, Diana Amondi, Alphonse Juma, Dennis Otieno, and Maslin Safari. I am Omani Katana, and I'll be your moderator this evening. Our debate will be divided in two parts. First part focusing on the candidate's vision for the Yali Alumni Chapter of Kenya, and part two focusing on the alumni engagement. And our format will be as follows. I will ask one candidate a question, and that candidate will have 1 minute to answer. After that, all our candidates can engage in an open Q&A session from the audience lasting for 30 minutes. We begin though with the vision statements, and at random, I will ask Mr. Matayo Mwenesi to go first. Mr. Matayo, your vision statement, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, leaders. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Matayo Mwenesi, cohort 40, and currently I am based in Western Kenya. I'm the head of tourism in Vihiga County, and I'm also an expert with a background in wildlife management and founder of BlackRock Kenya, which is an empowerment program for children using rugby as a tool for creating pathways for success for young boys and girls from grassroots communities. My vision for this docket is to create a vibrant networking platform for the Yali alumni, and also create a master calendar that would have every sector of every area of this county engaged in events, and working through county chapters and through alumni and industry experts. We want to just have a vibrant networking and events docket that will have everyone incorporated into the activities of Yali alumni.
Thank you, Matayo. Mr. Clinton, over to you. What is your vision for the Yali Alumni Chapter of Kenya? Please go ahead with your vision statement.
Yeah, hello everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the. Yeah, can you hear me, guys?
Loud and clear.
Hello. Loud and clear, yeah?
Yes.
First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers of this event, of this debate. My name is Clinton Dege, a youth health advocate based in Mombasa, working with a community-based organization known as Pwani Youth Network. At Pwani Youth Network, I'm the head of health programs. Okay.
Clinton,
yeah.
Sorry to cut you short. Would you like to switch on your video?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I switched it on already.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, I was saying Mombasa County, a youth advocate, yeah, working with a youth organization known as Pwani Youth Network. My vision for this docket is to ensure that the Yali events and networking docket is active and holding events more often to engage each and every alumni into it. For a very long time, I've known Yali, but unfortunately, I've known I've seen little happening as far as events and networking is concerned. My candidacy is here to change that. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Clinton, over to you. Job Mwenda, your vision statement for the Yali Alumni Chapter of Kenya.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
My name is
Mwenda.
Mungania Job Mwenda. I'm founder of Budget Initiative. My yearly fellow court 34. I'm a mental health and youth advocate. And also I'm very passionate about youth engagement. My vision about Yali statement is that I want to connect, network, and bring Yalis together. I've been working with Yali and under the Department of Networking Volunteer. And what I've been doing is networking, connecting, and bringing Yali together, and trying to bring Yali to Mashinani. And that is my mission now. My vision is to bring Yali to Mashinani and to connect people to available opportunity and to connect them to the right people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Job. We have more candidates that have just joined, Diana and Maslin. Welcome, Diana and Maslin. We just started our debate a few minutes ago, and all the candidates are currently giving us their vision statement for the Yali Alumni Chapter of Kenya. And just to take you quickly through the format of the debate, I will ask one candidate a question, and that candidate will have 1 minute to answer. And after all that, all candidates can engage in an open Q&A session from the audience lasting for about 30 minutes. And all the candidates were given their vision statements, and we selected them at random. So I will also select at random. And Diana Amondi, if you can hear me, please, what is your vision for the Yali Alumni Chapter of Kenya?
Yes, I can hear you. Thanks for the chance. My vision for the Yali alumni sector, especially in regards to networking and events, it's a more inclusive and a more inclusive and involving chapter with a variety of events and networking to meet the diverse group that Yali is. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Diana, for being short and sweet. Maslin, over to you.
Hi, sorry I'm late. My vision statement for Yali, especially the networking and events docket, probably would be to have a platform where the network we already have is well utilized effectively and as appropriated. Yeah, and it's about knowing people, but those people you know, kuna venye mmejengwa. Yeah, so that would be it for me.
Great, thank you all our candidates for sharing your vision for the networking and event chairperson for Yali Alumni Chapter of Kenya. So my follow-on question over to you, Mata. Will you join the networking and events committee and support the elected chair so as to realize the vision that you have mentioned?
Thank you for that question. I'd like to affirm that yes, in the event that I will not be successful, I would be very happy to work in this docket because this is actually my area of expertise. I've built a career of tourism and events, and I'm sure that I'd be able to add value. So I would be happy to be elected as the chair to this committee. But if not, then I will also be happy to offer my expertise and all my available resources towards the success of the Yali alumni. Thank you.
Thank you, Matayo. Clinton, over to you. In the event you do not win the current election, are you willing to join the networking and events committee in order to support the vision that you have mentioned? Please switch on your audio, Clinton. We can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, in case I do not win this, I will be more than willing to cooperate with the person who is elected to chair this position in order to ensure that we steer the events and networking committee into greater heights. I believe that this is my area of expertise, having been doing this for more than 5 years right now. And I believe that my input in that committee will be very, very much necessary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Clinton. Over to you, Job Mwenda.
Thank you for the question. I will be very willing to join the committees, help them, and support them where I can, because my passion is to bring people together, to form events, and to network with people. So I'll be very willing to work with the leadership that will be elected, and because Yali is bigger than us, so we are ready to work together. Thank you.
I like that. Yali is bigger than us. Over to you, Diana. Please respond to the same question, then followed by Maslin.
Sure, I will be very, very willing and ready to work with the elected chair, given that teamwork is the way forward. Sure. Thank you.
Awesome. Maslin?
For me as well, my answer would be yes, sure.
Okay, to you, Clinton, my second question is, what do you believe has not worked well in how Yali events are organized and run? And if elected, how will you change this?
Okay, first of all, I would like to take this opportunity to inform all of you guys that I am a member of Cohort 42. I know very little about Yali event since this is my first time joining the Yali program. And I think that already that leaves a gap, you see, because you do not have to be a member of Yali for you to know that there are events taking place. There are Yali events that are taking place. So I think that is one of the shortcomings of the outgoing administration. And I am looking forward to changing that. Yali alumni events are going to be events that are not only attended by Yali alumni, but events that I'm going to make sure that these events are events that draw interest from very many people, including people from different organizations, different backgrounds, and that's what networking is all about. We need to bring each and every person on board. If we talk about events and networking docket, this shouldn't restrict us only to alumni. No, we can bring on board anyone. We can invite anyone who is likely to be of benefit to the event. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Clinton. Over to you, Matayo. What do you believe has not worked well? And if elected, how are you going to change this?
Thank you for that question. I am a member of Cohort 40, which is also a bit recent, but since we graduated, I've been privy to some events that happened in Nairobi, Karura, and Tigoni, and which I would call the Nairobi region events. I feel that first of all, an event could be packaged, if I could just bring in my tourism background, in a manner that would make it attractive and compelling for someone to come from far out, because we have alumni across the country. So someone to come from far out to attend these events that are based in Nairobi, I think the packaging could be a factor. But also I feel that events should be spread out. That if we're going to have events in Nairobi, we should also have events in Mombasa, have events in Kisumu, Kakamega, Marsabit. And I think that would make it easier for people also to be able to participate in Yali events. If we could engage industry leaders as part of the attraction towards participating, because we all want to network. We want to network with each other, but we also want to network with people who have succeeded in our areas of interest. So I would count on those three areas to sort of make the events and networking sector better. Thank you.
Thank you, Matayo. I can see one of the candidates has joined, Kofi Annan. Welcome, Kofi, and I will get back to you in a few. Over to you, Diana. What do you believe has not worked well in how Yali events are organized and run? And why do you think you are the best person to turn around things or make things different?
Okay, thank you. I think the aspect of motivation to attend, for all the aspect of motivating the stakeholders to attend these networking and events. For example, motivation could just take maybe a token or maybe just facilitation. not going into details of what is facilitating, but maybe just providing transport, or if not transport, accommodation for events that, because wherever an event will be, definitely there are other people who don't live or come around that place, because like really membership is diverse from different parts of the country. So even if we were to decentralize the events to maybe a place like Homa Bay, then motivating people, and people here include the Yali alumni, the stakeholders invested in Yali, and those that Yali is interested in, like when it's come to networking, then motivating these people to create time and to see that you're grateful for their creating of time, and getting into a place like Homa Bay is a plus. So this motivation can be done through maybe just giving a token, or maybe a sculpture and a gift or something like that, or maybe providing one aspect of getting yourself into an event, maybe accommodation or transport. And by doing that, then these events will really be improved. And that's just one of what can be done that is not being
thank
done.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. And I have a follow-on question to you. I have chaired the networking and events position about 2-3 years ago. And we all know that the Yali chapter of Kenya is a non-profit organization. And one of the challenges that we've had, and even the outgoing committee, is raising funds to support the activities for the Yali Alumni Chapter of Kenya. And here you're bringing very important aspect of motivating the alumni and other stakeholders to attend these forums through facilitating the transport. So I'd like you to just mention 2 ways that you're going to help fundraise for the Alumni Chapter of Kenya in order to achieve this goal of motivating or facilitating transport for the alumni to attend the events.
Okay, thank you for that question. I come from a school that money is really never a hurdle to most of these things in life. Maybe it only hurdle. And be there, planning, corporate, and if you facilitate all these events, including the motivation aspect. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Diana. Over to you, Kofi Annan, welcome. And I like your name. Kofi Annan was one of my all-time mentors and inspirational leaders. And I believe you embody the spirit of Kofi Annan. It's not just a name. So Kofi, welcome. And I'd like you to give us your vision statement for the Yali Alumni Chapter of Kenya in 1 minute.
Wow, thank you so much. And sorry for late joining. I think my vision statement for the Yali Alumni Kenya, it's towards creating an incorporated leadership for all that engages every person. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for keeping it short and simple. Again, follow-on question to you, Kofi. In the event that you do not win, will you join the networking and events committee and support the elected chair so as to realize the vision that you have just mentioned?
Thank you for the question. In case I don't win, the competition will always expect a loser and a winner. And if the event I don't win, I shall bring the ideas that I had in my mind to be ready and willing to work with the chair to give Yali the best. Thank you.
Next question to you, Kofi. I believe you've been part of the Yali chapter of Kenya, and you've been part of some of the activities. I want to believe that. And my question is, what do you believe has not worked well in how Yali events have been organized? And if you are elected as the chairperson for networking and events, how will you change this?
Well, thank you. I believe that for an instance or an event where we have an event for Yali, what does not work is the information. The way we channel our information and whatever we intend to do as a people has greatly failed. That is why you realize that somebody in cohort 40, cohort 41, they doesn't even know of any other. And if I'm office, the first thing that I'm going to make sure is that these people, they are informed of every event, so that if perhaps somebody is interested in an event that is happening in Nairobi or Kisumu, they will always be able to know and see whether they are going to access. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Over to you, Maslin. This is a very vibrant Yali alumni chapter of Kenya, and we have different kind of people from diverse background. So what do you think makes you the best person to take this position? What skills or experience do you possess that makes you the best candidate for this position?
Thank you for the question. Why me? Probably I'd say the leadership qualities that I possess, that included and not limited to communication, management, time management. There's also the aspect of where I am as an individual, what I'm bringing on the table. I believe that I have a strong network where the Yali alumni would benefit from if given the position. Yeah.
Thank you, Maslin. To you, Job Mwenda, why you? Why should we select you of all these candidates to lead the vibrant network of Yali Alumni Chapter of Kenya? Why you specifically? What skills or experience do you possess to be the best candidate for this position?
Thank you for that question. It is an amazing question. Why me? First, I had passion about Yali before joining it. Second, I volunteered in the Department of Networking and Events since 2019. I've understood how they bring the event, how they form the event, how they mark the event. And I've been with them from the word start. Second, I've been working with KU about event, and I know the dedication, the service, and the passion that one needs in holding that position, because it is a volunteerism position. I've understand all the structures about it. And also, I'm that person who I love bringing people together, because through that networking is where I believe people have grown. So I've gotten those skills through networking, because through participating through the yearly events and everything, that is how you've grown. For example, the way I participated through one of the forum online, I met you, and it's how you helped me to go through my application of Yali, and that I appreciate the programs that you have brought up. Those are the things that I've been planning for my community, empowering and connecting other members of the community so that to understand that. So that experience is what I believe I'm going to serve my community with, my fellow Yali members with, and to bring Yali, to make Yali great again. Thank you.
Follow-on question to you, Job. You've mentioned that you were part of the volunteering team of the Yali alumni networking committee in 2019. And what I want to know is, what are some of the challenges that you went through, and what did you learn from those challenges, and how are you going to do things differently if you are elected as the networking and events chairperson?
Some of the challenges I can see that you've gone through is that you had late communication about events. Sometimes you could form events and then market like 2 weeks or 3 weeks in advance, 3 weeks to the event. That was inconveniencing some of the activities of some of the members to participate. One of the things I'm going to do different is that I'll be coming up with a calendar of events in advance. By the start of the quarterly or half a year, we'll be sharing the calendar of events to different people. And also one of the things that I'm very happy that we did during my time in networking committees, that you are able to reach some of the mashinani communities. For example, you are able to do in Kenya, where we reach people of County and supported the chapters. and we did Kiambu and Limuru. So I'm planning when Eva will be elected, we'll do more mashinani to reach more people in our part of the country and to network and to support all the chapters. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Job, over to you, Matayo. What skills and experience do you possess that makes you the best candidate for this position?
Thank you. Well, like I mentioned in my opening remarks, my academic background is in wildlife and tourism. And through tourism, I have participated in a lot of events management. And I'd like to mention some events that I have been involved in directly and others that I've also participated in actively. The program I talked about, BlackRock, is actually my brainchild, which I started 6 years ago. It started as a tournament for grassroots communities, but up until last year, February, just before Corona came in, we were able to expand it, and we were bringing in teams even from Uganda. We had 3 teams from Kampala, Entebbe, and Jinja, and we are now in the next edition, as soon as sports is returned, we'll be inviting teams from Rwanda as well. So it is growing. This is my area of expertise. Through the Directorate of Tourism in Vihiga, I mentioned in my manifesto that I also led the team that produced Miss Tourism Kenya 2016. We also had in 2017 the Under 18 World Athletics Championships at Kasarani. I participated as a volunteer, but I was given responsibilities in accommodation, transport, and logistics. So those are the key events that I could mention, although there are many more, because this is my sector of tourism events, and I'd just like to use them here. Oh yeah, and I'm also, as from last month, the World Rugby Regional Development Officer. So that includes also organizing rugby festivals and other events. Thank you.
Thank you, Matayo. Do you play rugby yourself?
I used to play. I've played up to national team under 20, but now I'm a coach. I'm a club, I've been a club official, and now I'm an administrator as well. Yeah.
Do you plan to start a Yali rugby team if you are elected?
Thank you. One of the things, of course, I'd like to do regarding Yali is to profile what people are doing, to capture their skills, their interests. And then if we do discover that through these networks, we could come up with a rugby program or even other sports program, then I would be happy to initiate something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe as a young leader, you know that sports is a very powerful tool to bring people together and discuss things that matter to them. And one of the challenges that many of us who were there before was first to bring these leaders together. And I want to believe that using the skills that you have in sports could be a powerful tool that could bring Yali alumni together and champion the causes that they believe in. And you never know, this could be the start of transformation of Yali right here in Nairobi, Mombasa, and across the world. Those are just my sentiments to you. You don't need to respond to that. Over to you, Clinton. Majority of you have mentioned that all alumni activities are organized in Nairobi. I think almost every one of you mentioned that. So what will you do to ensure that Yali activities are also held in other regions and that alumni in those places also get to participate?
Thank you very much for that question. First of all, if elected the chairperson of Yali Events and Networking, if elected as chairperson of Yali Events and Networking, my first mandate will be to ensure that this docket is devolved. When I mean devolving the docket, is that I'll liaise with the chairpersons of the chapters at the county levels to make sure that they set up a similar committee, that a similar events and networking committee, whereby they're able to organize events at the county levels. And for instance, whenever the world or our country is marking special events. Let's say, for instance, the International Day for People Living with Disabilities. I understand that yearly is a program that incorporates everyone. We even have alumni who are people living with disabilities. Yes, so we also need to celebrate them during these very special events. Now, such are the events that will be brought down into the grassroots, into the county levels. The International HIV AIDS Day, you see, the International Cancer Day. I'll come up with a plan and ensure that each and every county has at least an event that it hosts within one calendar year. And there was also another question where you asked about, you asked one of the guys in this panel of how they intend to mobilize for funds to support this event. Well, I feel like I personally have a plan for that. It's something that has always been at the back of my mind, having been someone who's worked as an event organizer for very many years ago. I think I've built a rich network of corporate sponsors, and these are the people that I'll go back to and ask them to help us in funding the events. When I talk about—
You have 5 seconds, Clinton. Clinton,
yeah,
you have 5 seconds.
Thank you very much. Donations and financial support doesn't necessarily have to be in cash. It might be in kind donations or anything that will support the events. Thank you.
Thank you so much. To you, Maslin, how are you going to make sure that alumni activities are not only happening in Nairobi, but also other parts of the country? And how are you going to ensure that those alumni in those regions also participate in this program?
For me, I think it's just coming up with a well outlined strategy and partnering, because I'm thinking of, if elected, I'm in Nairobi, and I have to think about the other regions. So probably being elected, I'll need other representatives from other regions, and then with them we come up with a strategy that works for each region, because truth be told, the activities in Nairobi are way different as compared to activities in probably other counties or regions. So just having a team, that's number one. Number two, coming up with a proper strategy that works for each region. And having probably a social platform where when one region has done an event, they're like, really, depending on what was done, of course, by the time we are deciding to do an event, that would mean we have thought this is the best event for this particular region. So with that, the testimonials that come from that event, we will be able to come back to the drawing board and say, did this work? Yes. Then we keep on doing that. Did this not work? So where did we go wrong? So I think it's just having a team, the right team, and number two, the right strategy.
Great, thank you so much, Maslin, having the right team and the right strategy. Over to you, Diana. How are you going to engage alumni from other parts of the country to participate in yearly alumni activities? Because many have been saying that these events only happen in Nairobi. How are you going to make things differently if you get this position?
Thank you very much. First is to understand why is it that most of these events happen in Nairobi. And I believe it's the misconception that Nairobi has the infrastructural capacity to hold most of the event. But if you look deep, even almost all counties and their headquarters have the infrastructure to hold events and networking activities. So I'll just choose maybe give an example with one event using one county. I'll choose maybe when we organize for sporting events and we say, no, we won't be holding it here in Nairobi in the sports clubs that we have. Let us take it down there at Homa Bay. So to make sure that this succeeds or people buy into the idea, together with the team, we will have to go out and make sure that we create we bring in all the necessary infrastructure and table them. For example, we'll have to look for maybe a stadium. Now maybe we'll have to ask for permission from the stadium in Homa Bay High School so that we can use it for our sporting events, get accommodation from the hotels in Homa Bay, and also get the social life or everything that will make it, that will show them that all these infrastructures can also be found in those other countries. So it's basically coming up with the team, going and creating all these steps to be followed, and then tabling it for support by other members. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Diana, over to you, Kofi Annan. How will you ensure that more alumni participate in yearly events? Because from experience, very few alumni participate in yearly events. So how are you going to ensure that more alumni participate in yearly events?
Well, so much. I would love to let you pay attention. I run an organization called Kenan Foundation, CBO, and it brings about students from 14 different universities. There is how we do these things to an extent that at the end of the day, sometimes you put an activity in Isiolo, Ukuru, yet so how first of all, if you want to have something like a project, let members be given a chance to bring down or write down their proposals. After that,
Kofi Annan, I'm sorry to cut you short, but your voice is breaking. Would you like to check on your internet? Then I will come back to you. Over to you, Matayo. How are you going to ensure that all or majority of alumni participate in yearly events?
Thank you again. I will just pick up from a statement I had made earlier. We want to go through the county chapters. There are county chapters that some are very active, some may not be so active, but I think this would be the best way to have people getting involved in YALI, especially those who may have graduated recently and haven't participated in an activity. If we could have events per county and then bring these together into probably a national event centralized somewhere, I think that would be the best way to get people to participate. And also, as I said, just packaging these events in a manner that will be attractive, that will motivate someone to want. So that would be my strategy. Thank you.
Okay, to you, Job Mwendwa. If you have the question, how will you ensure that more alumni participate in yearly events?
Thank you for the question. What I'm going to do about making more yearly participate to the event is that I'll be sharing the event in advance. Also, I'll be making that the event, it has all information and it is very accessible to them and all requirements. So sharing the event in advance is just to attract the yearly event. The second thing is that when elected, I'll just try and promote the county chapters. Those are the key people that they normally spearhead the events. Because I've heard everyone saying that Nairobi chapters normally have a lot of events. I believe events are formed by chapters and the nationals normally have the events like once or thrice per year. So if the chapters are going to support them to be very active, they are going to have their own events. Then the nationals, then they're going to combine all the events together. Thank you.
Okay, before I go to Kofi Annan, I have a follow-on question to you, Job Mwendwa. You heard Diana mentioning that she will fundraise in order to provide handouts or motivation in terms of facilitating transport for YALI alumni to participate in different activities. What is your take about this?
As a community practitioner, I feel that the point is right it is right, but I feel for sustainability purposes, I will structure the event to have the person to know why I'm going for event. I'm going the event to network, to connect, and to exercise my brain. Also about the events, when elected, I'm not just coming to have event like IKE, not only are going to places, but you're going to have different kind of events. I'm thinking on how can we as YALI leaders come with the event, like for example, this month they're going to have Viking. Like after 3 months, you have like top 30 and under 30 event, like whatever youth agenda does or other organization does, in order to promote what yearly members are doing. Also, you can have an event like mental health, where I'm planning on how, as yearly members, we're going to divide our members, like people in passion in agriculture, passion about mental health, passion about this. How can we hold event with them and look for sponsors to support that event? And how can we reach more people? And how can we partner with the different ministries of government to implement their things? Like now we have COVID-19. I believe if we had some connection with the government and the people who are responsible to administering this vaccine and empowering the community to understand why they need the vaccine. And most of the members will get a revenue from there. So I'm thinking to have
5 seconds, Job. 5 seconds, Job.
I appreciate your time, and you have a structure now. We can have events and support them. Thank you for your time.
Okay, back to you, Kofi Annan. And before you respond to your question, Kofi Annan, I would like to encourage our participants, if you have any questions, please type them on the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. And at the end of the debate, we will read your questions. Make sure you direct your question to a specific candidate. So back to you, Kofi Annan. I had asked you, how will you ensure that more alumni participate in yearly events?
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Kofi, I'm sorry, Kofi, but I can't hear you. I don't know whether it's me but I can't hear you. Your voice is completely broken. Maybe you could switch on and switch off your audio or your internet to see maybe if it can work. Is that okay, Kofi? I will come back to you if you. Kofi Annan, can you hear me? Yeah, please just check your internet. You can maybe switch on the data and off again to see if it will work. Okay?
It's okay.
Okay. Question to you, Marceline. Most of the alumni from the earlier cohort do not participate in chapter activities. If elected, what will you do to change this?
If elected, what would I do to increase participant engagement? I'd probably first of all
let me repeat my question. Let me repeat my question, Marceline. The question is not just engaging participants, but here we are talking about participants from the earlier cohort. Like a good example, those who are vying for this position right now, I could hear cohort 40, cohort 30, but I can't hear cohort 1, cohort 2, cohort 3, cohort 8, cohort 10. So the question is, what are you going to do differently when you are elected to ensure that participants from earlier cohort also participate in chapter activities?
One of the things I would probably do would, first of all, find out, of course, with the database, I want to believe that we already have a database of alumni. So find out, have a questionnaire of some sort, send it out to as many alumni as possible, and just find out how they're doing, what they're doing, and probably what would they want to be done for in terms of activities. With the information that we that survey would have gotten, we'd probably as a team come up with now activities that would attract them. So for me, I think it would be more of from the people to understand what they want and then come up with something that is workable and realistic for them.
Would you like to give like 1 or 2 examples, Marceline?
So let's say we have like around 500, let me use 500 guys from cohort. I think the latest one is 40, or if not 41. And we have that database. We have their emails, we have their phone numbers. Draft up a bulk SMS, draft up a bulk email to invite them to participate in a survey. And in that survey, have specific questions. Which part of the country are you in? What are you doing? You know, what industry are you in? Because it wouldn't make sense, probably someone who is in the political field, and we most of the people from the data we have, most of the people are probably in the political field and not fashion industry. So why have a fashion event if most of our alumni are in the political industry?
Thank you, Marceline. Clinton, would you like to respond to that as well? And then I will come to Matayo.
Yeah, definitely. First, I will collaborate with the program administrator, that is the administration, first of all, to get to know these alumni from the previous cohorts. So after getting to know them, I will closely work with the communication department so that I ensure that the communication is made to these alumni prior to the event, informing them about the event. Then I would also like to tap into what she just said. Like I will need to know what is their area of interest, you see, because there's no point of view inviting someone into an event that they feel won't be beneficial to them. So after knowing their areas of interest, I will create different events for different people depending on what they're interested in. I think that will attract them more to make sure that they attend those events, particularly if I'm someone who's passionate about rugby, just as one of us here is, and I hear of a rugby event taking place somewhere. Of course, even without funds, even if no accommodations provided or funds, at my own personal level, I might decide to go look out for funds myself and attend that particular event. That way, I think we're going to have as many attendees as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Clinton. You just reminded me, I played rugby in high school, and I don't mind joining the Yali rugby
definitely
team. So
sure.
Candidates, over to you.
I also played rugby in high school, and I'm looking forward to meeting the other guy who also played rugby, and together we'll see whether they can come up with a Yali rugby team. Sure, that's the plan.
Thank you. Over to you, Matayo. How are you going to encourage alumni from early?
So what I would do at one, you know, I cannot claim to know why earlier alumni are not participating. What I like to do is just to profile all alumni being done. Could factor that into our activities. I'd like to imagine that many of the early so they might be working somewhere or doing their own businesses, and they're looking for meaningful engagements that could advance their careers and advance their work. So I'd like to imagine that by inviting, you know, market leaders, industry experts in various fields that could add relevance to what we're already doing, I'd like to imagine that could attract more of the older alumni to come into the event, because they find.
Thank you, Matayo. Someone on the chat box, Linda Chepkoni, says, I look forward to a Yali sports fraternity. Matayo, your internet is kind of breaking.
I would want to give a
Matteo, we lost you for about 30 seconds.
Thank you.
We lost you for about 30
I'd be
seconds.
so happy to.
But I'm sorry, Matteo, we lost you for about 30 seconds.
Sorry, have you?
Yeah, I think it could be a problem with your internet. Please check it while I go to Kofi Annan. I can
you
see
hear
him
me
back.
now?
I'll come back to you, Matteo. Let me go back to Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan, how are you going to encourage alumni from earlier cohorts to participate in chapter events?
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm going to encourage alumni from previous chapter to take part in the early events this way. The first step of encouraging people and teamwork is creating a platform that brings about good communication to them. If we can communicate with these people via their personal email about the update of calendar of events, it's okay. If we can't do so, we can have a joint WhatsApp forum that brings at least 10 representatives from each cohort so that we can all fit here. They can be updated of each and every event that is going to take place in Yali. And apart from that, we can encourage the grouping of alumni from various places, i.e., if we have people within Nakuru, we can bring people within Nakuru County, about 10 people, tell them that to organize of an event, to bring a proposal of an event, and we go and do it together. Same to Nairobi and same to Kisumu. It can be done either quarterly or after every 2 months. You can do different locations to encourage that participation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kofi Annan. Over to you, Diana Amondi. How are you going to encourage participants or alumni from earlier cohorts to participate in Yali events for the chapter?
Thank you. We must first recognize that most of the alumni from the earlier cohorts have so far are maybe in the mid-level of their profession or the undertakings. So for us to encourage them to take part in events, we have to structure events that answer to their needs. The best way is to have events that specifically target those already in their mid-level and those that can be general. So these events that target and networking that targets those already in their mid-level, professional and upwards. Then you'll have to make sure we invite, for example, if the track, because we also have 3 tracks, we also have to make sure that these events appeal 3 tracks. So let's say we have an event on civil, on the civil track. Definitely they need someone, because it's already in their mid-level of the civil activist profession. Then we should invite big names in that we should invite big names in that sector to grace those events and maybe have a talk after the event or before the event or during the event. And because I'm using the example of civil, we can invite people like Okio Omtata. They're national, they're known for what they've done in the civil world. And now when we invite such people, then definitely these people who are the older chapter will definitely respond and be part of that, because their interest will have been tapped into. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Diana. Unfortunately, Maslin has to drop off from the call to attend to other emergency work. So I would like to ask her to give us her closing remarks before she drops off from this call. Over to you, Maslin.
Thank you, Amani, and thank you for allowing me to drop off. Probably this would go to, first of all, my fellow contestants, whoever gets the seat. I just hope that you will take it the way we have taken this campaign, that you will take it to the same spirit, and that in as much as it is an election and one person will be picked, that we should work as a team. So yeah, this is to you. Whoever gets picked, let's work together. I think the fact that we are 10 of us, that shows that there's interest in the same thing. To the people, To the participants, yeah, vote wisely. Thank you for this opportunity. Looking forward to seeing who gets elected, and have a beautiful evening. Bye.
Thank you, Marceline. Bye-bye, and I wish you all the best. So the debate continues, and my next question is to Clinton Ndege. Clinton, what activities have you organized before, and what did you learn from these activities? So please tell us some of the activities you've organized before, and what did you learn from them?
Okay, first of all, the activities I've organized before, I have organized the Mombasa Color Splash. This is a festival that brings about different people from diverse backgrounds to come and celebrate their diversity. And that's why we call it Mombasa Color Splashes. It's not only about colors and splashing colors, but it's also about appreciating our diversities. And other than that, I've also organized fashion and design events where different models come to showcase their designs. And something that I've learned over this event is that when you believe to your cause, when you're consistent with whatever you're doing, actually you attract people. And during one of the events that I was hosting, the Mombasa Color Splash, I was surprised to have the Mombasa governor as an attendee. I never saw that coming. I didn't invite him to come, but he happened to pass by any other venue, and I heard that there was an event going on, so he decided to come and join us guys in marking that event. That was a very big motivation to me, and ever since I've always kept going, and that's why I even chose to run for this post. I want to bring that experience to the yearly events, so that one day, thank you.
Thank you, Clinton. Thank you. Matayo, have you organized event before? And what have you learned from organizing such events?
Thank you. I will reiterate. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes, I think one big event that we organized in 2016 in Vihiga was the Miss Tourism Kenya. The first time it came to a rural county, which was a big achievement for us. I have also been organizing for 6 years the Western Black Rock Festival. It's an 8th grade rugby competition that has grown into East Africa, attracting teams from across the border. And we are looking to go further with it. I also participated in the World Under-18 Athletics Championships in logistics, transport, and accommodation. And I think those would be the key events I'd like to highlight. Although generally I have been in the event sector, I organize team building events, I organize NDR corporate parties. What I have learned is that Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And it's just about being adaptable, being resilient, and also being motivated, because as a team leader, you must be able to motivate yourself and motivate the team. So that those experiences I'm hoping to bring to Yali so that we can reinvigorate this sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Matayo. To other panelists, in case you're not speaking, please mute yourself so that we have quality audio. To you, Kofi Annan, would you like to add on what Matayo has just said? What are some of the activities you have organized before, and what did you learn from organizing such activities?
Thank you so much. Number one, about more than 40 parties. What I learned about this is that our inner will to pursue great things is greater than setting money to determine how to do something. Every person will come out with that willing heart and energy. I organized sanitary towel drive in Nakuru County with the Kenyan nurses And we were able to organize class. Yeah. What I do is towards transforming the society, and that we need not only to sit in our comfort zones, but we need to rise up and always feel the impact of the things that we do. The third thing that I learned about the event that organized
Kofi, we can't hear you, Kofi. Your internet is really letting you down today. We are struggling to hear you, and I'm not the only one. I can see some messages also on the chat box. We're really struggling to hear you, Kofi. That forces me to go to the next candidate, and this is over to you, Diana. What activities have you organized before? What did you learn from these activities?
I'll pick one on the most recent one, and that is at my time at the sexual gender-based violence implementation in Nakuru. We did organize the whole of, before COVID, the whole of 2019, we were in charge of organizing the Children Court Users Committee meetings. These are meetings that are quarterly, and they bring in all the stakeholders in matters children sexual-based violence, from the top, from the judges to the prosecutors to advocates to the policemen and to the community, Nyumba Kumi, to the community people on the ground, the first responders to such cases. So so these meetings were mainly the Nakuru Children Court Users Committees, and from what I learned from that experience, it's the of keeping time and the importance of sticking to the schedule of whatever is to take place, because most of these people and the organization I worked for, we could be having 2 events in a day, early morning and late evening. So you have to stick to the schedule, and you have to keep time, and you have for all these things to flow well. And everyone, and the moment you set that, the moment you set that example, somehow people join in. Maybe the first day you'll have a problem. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Talking about keeping time, Diana, so I'm also doing my work of keeping time so that we don't end this late. So question to you, Job Mwenda. Are you a member of a county chapter? What do you think should be the role of county chapter vis-a-vis the national chapter when it comes to organizing alumni events? Job Mwenda. Yeah, my question to you is, first, are you a member of a county chapter? And what do you think should be the role of county chapters vis-a-vis the national chapters when it comes to organizing alumni events?
Thank you for the question. I'm a member of Nairobi County Chapter led by Malik. And I believe the county chapter normally have a key role in overseeing the events, because during the formulation of the event, they can contribute where they want the event to be happen, and now they can share with their members. So when you've been in Nairobi County Chapter, when you normally form events, you normally make sure that our events, the events that are marketed, and all members of Nairobi Chapter, they'll participate and share events with other chapters. So county chapters normally have a big hand of bringing members together, because in the county chapter they are active, more members will participate in the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Job. And I'd like to give Kofi Annan another opportunity to respond to this question. Kofi, are you a member of a county chapter? What do you think should be the role of county chapter vis-a-vis the national chapter when it comes to organizing alumni events?
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I hope it will be the same.
I'm a member of a county chapter, and what I think is the role of county chapter, it is to incorporate each and every person that exists in that county. For example, if I'm from Nakuru County, I should be able to
Coffee. Coffee, your audio is still a problem. Your audio is still a challenge. Your audio is still a challenge, Coffee. I don't know how I can assist you, but I will jump the question to Matayo as we wrap it up. Matayo, would you like to pick it up from there? Are you a member of a county chapter? What do you think should be the role of county chapters vis-a-vis the national chapter when it comes to organizing alumni events?
Thank you. I am a member of Vihiga County chapter. My second county is Nairobi, though I'm not yet in that forum. But I think the county chapters are really important because, you know, as a country, we have devolved governance, and even as Yali, I guess we could do well also to devolve our activities into counties. So I'd like to believe that counties would form a pivotal role in informing how the national agenda is shaped. If I go back again to what I had mentioned earlier, I had said that we could have county chapters being the focal point in terms of organizing events, so that we could have at least one event per county on our calendar. And also in regards to county chapters, it would be easier to reach alumni through those platforms, so that we can also capture what alumni are doing. If there are any also in the event sector who are having events, we could incorporate that into our calendar. So I like to think that if we come from down there feeding into the bigger picture, then county chapters would be critical in achieving that. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, all our candidates. That is the first part of our debate. And now to the second part, we need to receive questions from the audience. And I can see some questions coming in thick and fast. So I will quickly go through the messages before we wrap it up. We have 10 to 15 minutes to go. And the first question is from Douglas Ogutu, and he says, most of them mention approaching sponsors to facilitate events. We know that sponsors come with interest. Can participants shed a light on what they propose to be the returns for the said sponsors? What's the sustainability plan for such a paradigm? And I will take this to Diana because she's the one who mentioned about approaching sponsors, and then Clinton, you will add on to that.
Thank you. I'll start by the sentiment, a good name is worth more than gold. Definitely Yali is a good name. Most corporates will like to be associated with Yali. So it will be us who will be vetting them instead. And then most corporate are also out for the visibility effect. If maybe we have an open event in the grounds or something like that, just having their banners and maybe their stand to promote their products and their services, that will be enough for them, and most will take that. Thank you.
I like that. A good name is worth than a gold, and I believe Yali is a good name outside there. Clinton, would you like to add on that? You're on mute. Clinton, we can't hear you. You are on mute.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Douglas, for raising that question. Just as I told you earlier, I have a plan. And one of the thing is that having worked with these sponsors previously, I think that will be an upper hand for me. And another thing, Yali Regional Leadership Center, it is not only present in Kenya. So I think this will be a very good platform for these sponsors to come up. They are not only helping us, but we're helping them get sales out of it. I think that will be enough to convince them into it, because having them support yearly events will mean that their services or their products are going to be popular in not only in Kenya, but other countries that are part of Yali too. And I think that's a good bargaining power.
Thank you, Clinton. I'd like to remind our participants who are joining, please, if you have a question, use the Q&A button. If you type it on the chat box, it might get lost through many other messages. So please type your questions on the Q&A button. Another question from Nelson Komba, and this is to all participants. And his question is asking, we are currently in a pandemic. There is no in-person meeting or gathering, and also Zoom fatigue. What's your approach to this? I will start with Job Mwenda, then Matayo, and then if we have time, the rest will respond to that. Job? Job Mwenda, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you for the question. I believe my approach is that we can come up with activities for the early members to check on their mental health at the moment, because I believe even though Zoom is fatigue, but all the leaders in the group need someone to talk to. So you can use either, believe you're going to still use Zoom because you cannot meet physically in order to engage the members. And we also need to check on them and also to bring some of the activities that we can help them to engage through.
Follow on to that, Joe. Apart from what Nelson has mentioned about the issues of Zoom fatigue, the issues of physical and social distancing, but we also see that access to internet is also a challenge, and you can attest to this call. Some of you are struggling, you don't have reliable internet. So if you decide to go that way, how are you going to ensure that everyone is included and no one is left behind? Job?
I believe you can also use other means, as in the Department of Communication. You can use like messages in order to check on how yearly members they are doing. Also, you can do the chapters that we have in the communities, like for Nairobi chapters. I believe you have yearly members in a particular zone or sub-counties. We can motivate members to know each other. In that, because now you cannot do a bigger crowd, but you can do a particular number like 15 members, I think we can just try and motivate the members in a particular zone to be meeting and to do something about the community. Through that, you can continue keeping on doing whatever you're doing, like being leaders and empowering the community. Yes, we cannot meet now, but the few people either in that sub-county, like Embakasi West sub-county, you can meet there, just 15 members or 10 members and do something great. Through that, you're going to keep ourselves with the spirit of yearly. Through that, when everything is normal, you can meet as a county and also as a region. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Job. Over to you, Matayo. Nelson is asking, we are currently in a pandemic, no in-person meeting or gathering, and there is also Zoom fatigue. What is your approach to this?
You know, right now we are meeting on Zoom, and despite its challenges, I think it's relatively effective. And I think before Corona, these online platforms are not so popular, but we have seen how it can really be useful in terms of engaging many people at a relatively low expense. So I'd like to say that we could still use strongly these online platforms. I would suggest even monthly Zoom meetings, or even, twice a month. As long as it's relevant, and you see, having it online allows us to engage people even in other countries far out. So, my suggestion would be, while we cannot meet physically, we can still be useful and use online platforms and have forums where we can actually network with people across the world via Zoom or any other channel. Thank you.
Thank you, Matayo. I can see Diana is nodding and smiling. Maybe she has something to add on that. Diana, over to you.
I think creativity will come in really well, and this could be creativity through involvement, like encouraging members to come up with, like in a competition like way, encouraging members to come up with gifts, to come up with memes, to come up with maybe YouTube content, or Facebook, or just anything, or just a play, and you only need maybe a phone to record and maybe to edit, and then you share, and we can tokenize the most and the best. So through such encouragement, members will get through this COVID-19 season. Yeah, and creativity.
Thank you, Diana, for keeping it short and simple. There's another question from Douglas Ogutu, and this is directed to Matayo. And Douglas is asking, apart from monthly social events, which other events does Matayo think should be introduced?
Well, thank you for that question, Douglas. You know, I feel that social events are normally the best platform, but I've also talked about online events. And, you know, even just having, once we are allowed to meet, we can also have conferences. I've participated in organizing conferences. When I was in college, I did my attachment at the United Nations office in Nairobi, and we did many conferences, including the climate change conference in Durban, South Africa. You know, that's also another area we could look at. And as well as even having exhibitions and trade fairs. We do that in my department where I work. So yes, not just social events, and as much as they are good, I would be open also to ideas, because I'm vying for chair, and I hope there'll be a team and other people who can advise. But yeah, that's my opinion for now. Thank you.
Thank you to Matayo. Another question from Douglas to Diana. Listening to Diana, I like the vision. Does she have any budget for the first 3 months in office? This is the question to you, Diana, from Douglas.
Thank you for the question. For the first 3 months in office, definitely will be the transition period, where the current chairman will be handing over to the new team. If in the new team, then during that transition period, I'll be in a position to know the financial position of the chapter in regards to matters of event and networking. Then from there, within 3 months is enough to come up with creative ideas on how to raise funds and also to come up with a calendar of events. So it's using the current whatever we have as at now, and if whatever we have as at now is not enough, then come up with creative ways to raise the funds. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. I can see your fellow contestant is smiling, and maybe he would like to add something to that. And this is Job. So Job, do you like to add anything on what Diana was saying, or to respond on the question from Douglas?
Whatever I can add about the question, about asking if you have a budget for the next 3 months. Currently, you'll see we don't have currently, but when we reach in the office, I believe I'm praying we come up with a design challenge on how we can come with a sustainability project as Yali official together, so that in the future, how can we have a kitty for the members, which can support either our activities, support our activities, and also support our fellow Yali. So I'm planning we come up with a project which you can do either in nationals, both in nationals and each counties and each chapters, they can come up with some project and support them together, because they believe when we work as together, we are going to reach far, and we are going to have a sustainability of the projects.
Thank you, Job. And Kofi Annan, I know you still having challenge with your audio. So if you have anything to add or you want to respond to any question, please type your answer on the chat box, and I will read it to the participants. So please feel free to utilize the chat box, Kofi. There is a question here from Abdul Malik Omanyo, and his question is directed to all the contestants. What will you do if you organize an event and find yourself as the only participant? I will start with you, Diana. What will you do if you organize an event if you find yourself as the only participants? Diana, then followed by Clinton, and then Matayo.
Thank you. I think that such a situation will be unfortunate, but then we learn to work with whatever we have. We learn from what we will. I'll seek to find out what could have been the problem that resulted in people not turning up for the event, and maybe working on the problem so that next time it doesn't happen again. And also being the party yourself. If it was an event and you find yourself alone and you can do it by yourself, you be the party by yourself, but you also learn from it so that next time it doesn't happen again. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. You do the party by yourself. You carry your own weather. Next is Clinton. Would you like to add anything on that? You've organized an event, you've spent money, you've done mobilization, but then on the big day, you find yourself as the only person in this event. What are you going to do? You are on mute, we can't hear you.
Thank you very much, Abdul Malik. Such things happen during events, yeah, but on a personal level, it has never happened to me. But something that I can say that is that you might organize events and project around 1,000 people to attend, but you only end up with 50. Yeah, so as per me, that looks like me alone in that event. Well, I'll take that up as a challenge, and I'll use that to help me plan better for the next event. You see, I won't take it in a negative way. I'll just go back, look at what I didn't do right, and make sure that the next time I'm organizing an event, I do everything right so that I get guests to attend. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Clinton. Matayo?
Thank you, yeah. That actually is a serious question. When I normally announce the next date of my rugby tournaments, you never know who will come or if anyone will come. But we've been successful for 6 years. The numbers go up and down, but we've been growing. So to answer that question, I would just like to mention that when organizing events, we don't organize in isolation. There is normally some engagements that happen beforehand that lead to us making a decision on the way we will go regarding the event. I would even start with the members of all the aspirants for this position, because they committed that if should they lose, they will sit on the committee. So should I chair the committee, I expect them all to be in the event, first of all, so I will not be alone. And I will also expect, since I see we are very diverse, that they will also participate in the mobilization for the event. But it could happen that numbers could be low, but if with proper planning and engagements beforehand, we hope that I will not be going on an event by myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Matayo. Job Mwenda, can you add to that?
I can say it has ever happened to me. I've been in KU organizing several events. Sometimes normal feel down, getting less number compared to get, but I believe we normally learn from our mistakes. And sometimes the people you're trying to empower, they're not there. But I believe sometimes you're going to learn from that mistake and come back with better mechanism of marketing. Because the organizing event is one thing, marketing is another thing, and communication is another thing. So in organizing event, we need to work together as all the department or everyone need to be involved in order to make our event successful. If I'm going to organize the event, I'll make sure the communication with the person is there and marketing is there. Because even we're going to find those are different things that happen in society. So when something happened to me like that, when I've organized the event, I'll make sure the next event, everyone is involved, the marketing person, and to share. Thank you for that time.
Thank you, Job. Thank you, Job. And ladies and gentlemen, we've come to almost the end of this debate. There is one last question from Morgan Odera. And before I take this question to Diana, Morgan wishes all the candidates the best, wishing all candidates all the best. This is from Morgan. And Morgan has a question to Diana. She says the current office at the, I think, networking and event has zero budget. Let her start from there. This is an advice from Morgan Odera. He says the current networking and events committee has a zero budget, so you should start from there. Okay, so I'd like to quickly read through the messages and reactions on the chat box before I give you 2 minutes each to give us your closing remarks and our final pitch as we gear towards the election for the 2021 Networking and Events Chairperson. So let me see if there are any messages on the chat box. I can see one from Simon Odhiambo. Simon says, good questions, Amani. We need a Yali rugby team. This is over to you, ladies and gentlemen. Simon says they need a Yali rugby team. Then there is one from, let me see. This is a question that was asked by Alex Kiptorus. Question to Diana and all contestants: how are they going to use the already developed structure to ignite active participation of alumni members at county level, given that these activities depend on resources which are limited? I believe we had already answered this question through the questions that I had prepared, but if there is any contestant who would like to respond to this, I will give you 10 seconds each, but the question is originally directed to Diana. How are you going to use already developed structure to ignite activity participation of alumni members at county level, given that these activities depend on resources which are limited?
Thank you very much. I think I'll use the example of Nakuru chapter as the country that I belong to, the country chapter that I belong to. They, for example, have a structure where upon admission, upon commencement, you pay a membership fee. And then on top of that membership fee, there are periodical monthly payment subscription. You renew, you pay monthly. And as at now, there are some funds there's some fund in the Nakuru County Kitty. And because of that, they're able to not only depend on themselves, but organize by themselves many activities. So on top of whatever—
Thank you, Diana. 10 seconds is up. Any other contestant who would like to respond to this in 10 seconds? Great, we move forward. I will still continue reading the reactions on the chat box. Linda Chepkoni says, I look forward to a Yali Sports Fraternity. Awesome, Linda. I hope our contestants have heard this loud and clear. And there's another one from Nelson Asira. Nelson says, me too, Linda. So Nelson also looks forward to Yali Sports Fraternity. We can have thematic events, and an alumnus must not take part in all activities. I believe we attend events based on value returns, sometimes or most often based on availability, and when events works plan was shared earlier. Communications department is key and seamlessly work with the PE department. Thank you, Nelson, for your advice to our contestants. David Tweetalk says the event should be accompanied by well-outlined time frame, communicated and appropriate resource. How about this, please? It's up to you, contestant, to think through it. So thank you so much, ladies. Now it's just 5:45. We are almost coming towards the end of this engaging and interactive debate. And now I'd like to give each one of you 2 minutes to give us your final closing remarks or pitch. And I will start with Diana, followed by Clinton, then Job, then Matayo, and finally Kofi Annan. Over to you, Diana.
Thank you very much. Mine is just to thank you all for the platform and for the support through the questions and everything, and to urge you to vote Diana for exemplary service, and may the best woman win. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. Clinton?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every person who believes in my cause. And I would also like to take this opportunity to ask those who had not yet made up their mind to finally make up their mind on voting Clinton Ndege. I have been tested and proven. Don't gamble with your votes. Vote for me. When put to test, I am the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Clinton. Job Mwenda.
I take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone who has participated in this event. I thank all the organizers, and I want to take this opportunity to request everyone for your vote. Ni kusema na kutenda. I believe I've done a nice work. If anyone has participated in any of our activities this year, last year, and last year, but one, I take this opportunity to request you for your vote. Vote Mungania Job for networking and event chair. Looking forward to being Yali Mashinani. This time round is to support all chapters and to work together. Yali is bigger than us, and anyone who's going to win, I'm ready to work together. And I request everyone, if in case I win, I'm ready to work together with everyone. My name is.
Thank you.
Bringing people together. Vote Mungania Job for networking and event. Wishing everyone amazing, and I want to congratulate Morgan for the amazing work he has done in the department. Looking forward to.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Job. Over to you, Matayo.
Thank you.
Matayo, we can't hear you. Matayo, we can't hear you.
I would really appreciate an opportunity to like to ask. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'd just like to appreciate the opportunity, and I'd request the alumni to vote for me. I'd like to ask us to vote based on my experience and my goodwill for this position. I'd like to acknowledge the outgoing team and former leaders for the work they've put into bringing us to this point. And I'm just asking for the chance to continue to take Yali forward through networking and events. I've picked up on the sports aspect strongly as an area I'm passionate about. I would like to also carry that forward. I think it will be exciting. And finally, let us all remain united. Let us be one family. I know politics is emotive, but we always get through it, and let's come out stronger and work together. I look forward. God bless.
Thank you so much, Matayo. And I can see a closing remarks from Kofi Annan on the chat box. And this is how it goes. The debate has been exemplary. Kofi, would you like to try? Yeah, go ahead. I wanted to read your message on the chat box, but if you believe your audio is fine now, you can go ahead. Hello, Kofi.
Yes, can you hear me?
Just speak. I will let you know if I can hear you or not.
Okay. I want to appreciate any participated in this debate. I believe my qualifications are not any extraordinary, but you've done the best today. And I wish every candidate all the best. Vote for Kofi Annan Victor. Vote for Incorporated Leadership. Thank you.
Great. I heard you very clearly. I wish you could have switched off your video all through Kofi Annan. Maybe that was the challenge. But thank you for being part of this wonderful debate, despite the challenges you had with your internet connection. David Twitek says, first and foremost is to appreciate the moderation and humility seen in various aspirants. Indeed, you are all leaders. Let's keep the network. King David Twitek, looking forward to see a very strategic event planners. Your prospective chairperson is wishing you well. That's from David Twitek. And from me, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I would like to appreciate the YALI Alumni Chapter of Kenya, led by Mr. Charles Munywa, for asking me to moderate this session. I humbly accepted. And two, I want to appreciate you all fellow contestants for sharing your inspiring ideas and for being honest in your thoughts, in your mission, and in your visions to take the YALI Alumni Chapter to the next level. From me and from the entire YALI network, we wish you all the best, and may the best person win. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye, and have a good evening.